Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. The guy who offered me my first job in news is Andrew Breitbart, and he would always say that politics is downstream of culture. The culture wars matter. What Disney does, what Warner Brothers does, what the big studios do, what people watch in theaters, what people listen to on the radio, this stuff matters. It determines where we will go politically. It determines the boundaries upon which we can argue politically. And so the culture wars are incredibly important. That's why I pay a lot of attention to them on this channel, even though this channel isn't a movie, Hollywood, or entertainment channel. I love channels like Nerdrotic and Geeks and Gamers and Critical Drinker, and I encourage you to follow all of them. They do it way better than I ever could. But when I saw that South Park was going to take on Disney and Kathleen Kennedy, and that South Park was going to effectively rip asunder the toxic intersectional feminist and identity politics poison that has been injected into our entertainment, I said, oh, hell yeah, please, directly into my veins. South Park did it in an absolute masterclass fashion, and I encourage you to go and watch that episode. But there is somebody who I know personally, and I wouldn't say that she's like a close personal friend, but I've met her at a number of events, specifically the Daily Wire event, and I know a lot of people who are very close with Gina Carano, and Gina Carano was done so dirty by this system. Gina Carano is such a beautiful, nice, wonderful, incredible, humble person when you meet her in real life. It's just a joy to get to know, and I really enjoyed some of the things that Gina Carano has done in her career, including but not limited to Deadpool, UFC fighting, The Mandalorian, which was probably her most popular role until she was fired for thinking freely. She simply criticized the regime on COVID, which she was right. Historically, she's on the right side of history there. The mandates and the forced compliance. And then she was pushed by the upper echelons of Disney leadership in order to delete her posts, to censor her online, and to get her to stop following certain accounts. And so it is this incredible moment here where South Park has utterly ripped the soul out of Disney. You saw the same day Disney effectively decided they're going to trash their woke Snow White project, right? Like the same day. How the beatings shall continue. How much can you destroy your company with this model of intersectional race swapping and gender swapping every historic role, desecrating and immolating every historic IP? The same day that South Park dropped that, Disney decided to do a 180 on Snow White, recast everything and reshoot everything. Well, anyways, a little too late for Gina Carano, who was effectively deep sixed by Kathleen Kennedy in what began the steep and steady accelerated decline of Disney. Gina Carano, who's awesome, was just done so dirty. She was one of the most popular characters in the entire Mandalorian series, a series that was supposed to save Star Wars. But then, of course, Kathleen Kennedy, as South Park says, put a chick in it, make it gay, make it lame. Like Kathleen Kennedy got her dirty claws into that product and then just decimated it. Anyway, Gina Carano got her blasters out and went blasting for Kathleen Kennedy after unflattering South Park portrayal. Star Wars star Gina Carano went on a tirade. They say it's a tirade. I think it's an absolute beautiful takedown of Kathleen Kennedy after Lucasfilm's boss roasting South Park. So Gina Carano, her role as Cara Dune in the Star Wars series was the most popular character, more popular than Mando. You could argue, right? People loved her character, and she was effectively, fired again simply for speaking freely. Now, her co-stars, shockingly enough, on The Mandalorian, her co-stars can say that Trump supporters are the same, liken Trump supporters to the Third Reich, and they don't get fired, right? Because that's part of the Borg hive mind thinking. But Gina Carano can say it just simply states the obvious, which is that forced compliance and mandates are evil and you're never the good guy when it comes to that kind of stuff. And she gets canned. Well, now Gina Carano is free to speak, and hot damn is she speaking, boys and girls. So this tweet, which got, let's go ahead and check the numbers here, nearly 10,000 retweets, 3.6 million views, 41,000 likes, man, and a lot of love from the community. Just absolutely decimated Kathleen Kennedy, as referred to as KK here. This is the part where KK demands any YouTubers get censored off YouTube for sharing and laughing at this hilarious episode. She'll have YouTube disable the thumbs down option because the ratio she'll receive. Then she'll have her publicist, Ghouls, make sure Variety and the Hollywood Reporter run hit pieces about South Park creators and their families, smearing their names through every useful idiot that she has under her thumb who would sell their soul to work at Lucasfilm. She'll activate her online mob to repeat the South Park creators are racist, bigoted, transphobes. Well, those headlines have already been written, and South Park is stronger than ever, and demand that South Park creators publicly apologize by only using her words that she approves of. And finally, she'll demand that they subject themselves to re-education courses of 45 people in the LGBTQ alphabet community Zoom call and sit there and listen to how badly they got their feelings hurt all over a little boop of South Park episode. Or maybe the jig is up. Interesting there. Maybe the jig is up. Yeah, maybe people aren't buying it any longer. Maybe Kathleen Kennedy will finally be fired. Just a why, Gina Carano has been a real class act and has not really gone hard in the paint here against Disney. But this episode finally brought it out of her. Then here, Gina Carano writes quite a piece when an account around the galaxy had not the #1 Star Wars talk show. Okay, got it. So these people like corporate simps for Access Media was saying, in case you're wondering, Gina Carano has lost her GD mind, right? So they posted this effectively. And Gina Carano just went hard again. It's worth just reading it. Okay. It's like this is a woman who deserves to be heard, right? And that's what she says off the top. Do you always call women crazy just because she has more firsthand experience than you and something that you don't like or understand? Bit misogynist, don't you think? Tis tis. Curious if your overlords pay you, or do you just go ahead and shove your whole head straight up their ass for free? Guessing it's for free. You might want to come out and smell some fresh air. For some added context, not just for you, but for people reading, one of the things your overlords asked me to do was unfollow certain accounts because they said bad things about Kathleen Kennedy. Red flag. If I were the head of one of the most powerful entertainment companies in the world, I would know that haters come with the territory and that maybe their haters are expressing their thoughts because they actually care. And caring is a good thing because as long as they care, well, hey, they still have something to work with. Maybe we can win their hearts back eventually, and maybe they have to do some good things to add to the conversation. Look at Mando season 1. Boom, the healing had begun. That's right. A lot of people really like Mandalorian season 1. If you're a proper good leader, you will learn how to embrace and communicate and not dictate and silence and demand your actors and directors unfollow and shame more than half of your fan base who've stuck with the franchise for decades. Side note, they don't say the Force is female and then allow the men to express their political views online. In fact, just drop the ridiculous phrase completely. One of the problems your overlords are having now is that they've made a lot of people completely stop caring about the one of the most beloved franchises in history, all by bullying, pushing aggressive agendas, and trying to silence people criticizing them. How are they able to tell stories that they don't understand when the ones that identify with the ones they identify with are the Empire? Got it. Got them, Gina. They are literally trying to quash the little guys, the rebellion. No wonder the story is struggling. They fired and dehumanized people like me who did absolutely nothing wrong. All to virtue signal to people like you, the yes men. But yes men, unfortunately, like you, do not drive culture. It's beautiful. Your overlords tried to hide behind two opposing fan bases, fighting each other instead of taking responsibility. They encouraged the hate, all while virtue signaling and standing up for minorities, but instead using them as a shield and a weapon. Funny enough, just how our government works. So unbelievably base. Sorry for the short break in the programming there. We just finished nap time at the Johnson household, and now my daughter Eloise is sitting on my lap and wants to be part of the show. So here we go. It's a family-friendly show on this channel, so we're just going to go in. Continuing the final bit of the tweet here, powerful people telling me how to think and act. If there was something I needed to apologize for, I would have in a heartbeat, but I didn't say or do anything wrong. People come up to me daily and shake my hand and thank me for taking a stand, even though people think differently. one thing is true: good leadership makes for a better world, leading healthier, happier people and a better opportunity. Look around. We are watching the devastating effects of bad leadership worldwide. Why do we do this? Like, we wish to stand up for a better country. We wish to stand up for a country that has some semblance of common sense, some semblance of grounding, some semblance of like mooring to reality and truth. This is how I raise my kids. This is why I do this channel. It is about my family, and it is about making sure that they have some type of stability in life, and that they are not driven by their emotions, and that they are not driven by the fads or trends, because the fads or trends like intersectional feminism and intersex theory and all of the variations of identity politics is designed just simply to destroy, not to create, not to make anything new, not to create wonder for like little children, but to destroy that which has come before them. And because history starts now, right? Because everything that came before is wrong, and we are better people, right? It is a sick and despicable ideology. It's why my kids will never be going to Disney, right? Unfortunately, but it's also why I fight. And it's why it's good to remember like the good things that have been created in culture and society, and not to desecrate them. But most importantly in all of this story, it is wonderful to see how Gina Carano is now going viral telling her story, and how there's not a single Star Wars actor or actress that has such a massive following, right? She has millions of followers. She's become more powerful. They struck her down, and she became more powerful than they can even imagine. And that's actually, quite frankly, what I want for my daughter. I want my daughter to be able to have the type of fight and the type of grit and the type of grounding to reality and truth and standing up for what you believe that Gina Carano has. And so that's why these arguments are important. Just one father's thoughts here. Like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Family channel here. Big fights, important fights. God bless all of you. Have a great Sunday. And God bless Gina Carano.